apparently, because I gave an honest reaction to Captain America: A Brave New World last night, I'm a racist for not liking it? Welcome to Movie World Plus, a place where we talk movies. I'm Andy Signore, and now I'm here to officially review Captain America: A Brave New World. And thanks to everybody who checked out my out of the theater reaction. They just do better. They give us weird embargo dates. You can react on social media, YouTube social media, but you can't review it. And I don't understand the rules anymore. So I tried my best, but now here's my official review, guys. And what's nice is I get to actually react to some of your comments, as well as, I slept on it. So do I still feel the same? Yes, I do. In fact, I feel more emboldened to share my negative reaction to this film because, look, I put Captain America and in the franchise on a higher shelf. I do. Is this movie as bad as Madam Web or Kraven the Hunter? No, absolutely not. But is this movie mid-tier Marvel? No. I don't know why people are putting it there. I'm shocked that people are trying to give it that much credit. The story's clunky. It goes nowhere. It's incredibly predictable. The payoff with Hulk, which is the finale, is just not very good. The whole thing is just very disappointed, and there's a lot of potential, and the actors are trying their best. There's a few decent, likable moments, but there were some of them in Thor: Dark World too. So honestly, this is a low tier MCU entry. Is it better than some other really bad superhero movies? I guess. But does that mean it's good? No, it doesn't. Neither was Thor: Dark World. Neither was some of those lower tier Marvel movies. Is it better than the Marvels? Yes. Yes. I think of all the recent Marvel movies, it's slightly better, but still not good enough. And I think we should put Marvel on a higher pedestal because of what they were able to build. And it's not to say they can't build it again, and not that I want them to, but this movie was just, you can see the rewrites all over it. There's so many problems with it, but first I want to address this. You look like the two guys that wouldn't like this film for personal reasons. You mean me and my buddy, because what about us two? I'm trying to get this what about me and my buddy? Here's my buddy. Makes us seem like we wouldn't like this film. I don't know. What are they implying there? Here's another comment. LOL, of course you and many people like yourself would feel like that. What are these two implying? Well, this guy just flat out said it. I just seen it, love it, yeah. Just say you hate a black man as Captain America. That is ridiculous. And this argument is so frustrating because that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. Now, I will say he's more Falcon than he is Captain America because of the wings. The wings! The reality is the shield plays second fiddle in this. I don't even know if this movie looks so fake and CGI, but he never really even has the shield too much. The only time he uses the shield is when he does the annoying thing that they've done in other Marvel movies, to be fair. I didn't like it when Steve Rogers does it. When he throws the shield and it hits 5 people, or he's in space and he throws the shield and it just happens to hit look, I can give 1 throw, maybe 2 throws, the benefit of the doubt and suspend my disbelief, but 5, boom, 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 boom. It's who did the math? Is there is Red Wing on the shield now too? It starts to get too much. Where of course you have to suspend your disbelief in Marvel movies. I get that. A lot of Marvel movies have technology that doesn't make sense. It wouldn't be real. Physics that don't make sense. I get all that. But this movie takes it to a point where it's we're finally in the action moments, and that's what they resort to. And I'm like, really? Winter Soldier had a heart and soul and real, you felt it, a grittiness to it. This movie never felt that way to me. It always just felt very by the numbers, very Black Widow, the movie Black Widow, maybe it's not even as good, just very generic, mediocre scenes that not one sequence from this movie is memorable to me. Not one single action sequence. And I can go back and replay so many sequences from the MCU that I loved. There's not one. And I would beg to argue which one really is the iconic scene from this movie. It's, I guess, the Red Hulk scene, which is, again, what a waste. I want to go back to this comment where it's why do you keep saying they spoiled Red Hulk? Because literally they spoiled Red Hulk. Red Hulk is the finale. Anybody who's going in thinking this is a Red Hulk movie, it's not. It's all a buildup to, obviously, Red Hulk. And the whole plot line and mystery is so easy to put together because the marketing has completely spoiled the only sort of interesting surprise. Would this movie have been better had I not known that? I'm not a fan of what they did with Red Hulk. I'm just not. I think it ultimately is weak. It's disappointing. It's not, I don't know. The whole thing just is very disappointing. They set up this premise, which I talked about in my reaction last night, where we finally address the celestial hand and they're sticking out of the Earth, which for the record would have absolutely destroyed Earth way more than the world's admitting. But okay, fine. I'm moving on. And they offer this interesting idea of like, okay, well now there's adamantium in there. And now all the countries are vying for, who's going to control this most powerful mineral in the world, even more than vibranium. And it's like, cool, we're getting Wolverine claws. It's all finally coming in and you're excited. I'm excited. And this idea of a world in crisis all trying to do this while Ross, as new president, is basically tasking Falcon Sam Wilson, Captain America now, to create a new team of Avengers. And I'm like, at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, all right, sweet, let's do it. Coming after Civil War and all the Avengers movies, that would have been a good one. Trying to bring together a team. Maybe it's not the final team, but having trouble with the team amidst this big global crisis. And suddenly we have some adamantium and maybe a mutant reveal that's actually worthy. No, we don't get any of that. We get this weird team up where we have his buddy, Joaquin, who's sweet. He's nice. He's trying his best. I'm not mad at the actor. And then you get this weird, who was this actress who's now they took the character of Ruth Bat-Surratt, who in the comics, I wasn't familiar with this comic, but plays Agent Sabra, and they've made her a Black Widow. And I was just like, who is this person? This like really tiny girl taking out all these big, and it just was like totally not a character. I'm like, I need to see her again. It was more like, who is this kid in the movie? It's very weird. The whole cast, all the additional people, nobody is worth it. Nobody adds the team or the effect. And so they rely on Red Hulk at the end in the marketing because they know that's kind of the more interesting thing, which granted, I know Thunderbolt Ross like becomes that in the comics. But again, because of the history of this character, William Hurt, who RIP, it's just sad because we don't get to have, this is really a payoff to his story. This is a continuation of Incredible Hulk and all the things they do. While bringing in Harrison Ford, who doesn't phone it in, is fine. It just doesn't hit as hard because it's not William Hurt. It's like, really, we had to recast Thunderbolt Ross, but we couldn't recast T'Challa? Marvel's priorities are just so weird. They're so weird to me. You're starting a whole new chapter, a brave new world, as they call it. And this was the best we could come up with? It was so underwhelming at times and a disservice to Anthony Mackie and his Captain America. And again, I'm struggling because the wings, I keep saying there's all these versions of the wings. I'm like, where the hell is that going in his back? Like, what? It just disappears, comes in, goes away. It's so silly at times. They overdo his wings because he doesn't have the super serum. So they got to give him something. And instead of being like, cool, which I was in Falcon, when he's in Winter Soldier and he's playing as Falcon, I dug his wings and what he did. It felt more realistic. His wing got shot and he'd fall down. In this movie, he's a transformer. He turns into a transformer and I'm just like, really? That's my complaint. Yes, it's silly. I know Marvel's silly, but I really, his superpower is that he's got transformer wings that he can just control in a heartbeat. It's whatever, and it solves every problem. And Red Wing, go blow this up and go take a scan and laser this. And I'm like, it's just very lazy writing in my opinion, because it relies on gadgets versus trying to figure it out. And yes, I know Marvel's done that before, but it never felt so egregious than in this movie because there's not a lot to cling on to. The story was weak for me. The characters were weak for me. The action was weak for me. And then the effects, the CGI feels weak. I mean, look at this. I don't even think this was in the movie, but it wasn't good. The stakes of it, not good. You know where it's going. It's all very obvious. It's all very minimal. Nothing shocking or fun. Like Winter Soldier had some shocks. Civil War obviously had the whole team. I get it, but still, we need to build a team. This is not the team. And to come back after all we've had of Marvel, and this is our brave new world. Oh, it was like a wet fart. I'm not excited. The after credit scene, there's one after the credits. You could just tell, I'm trying not to spoil, but I will tell you this. You could just tell Marvel did not want to commit to anything because they have no idea what they're doing. And there will be Marvel fanboys. I saw them in my comments. You're a hater. I wanted to love this so much. I went in lower expectations, hoping I was going to be surprised. I even saw it's like a mid-level tier. I'm like, okay, I could go for that. No, it's a letdown. It's a complete letdown for Anthony Mackie, for everybody involved. The director's too inexperienced. Too many screenwriters and reshoots. No one had a clear vision. I feel like Marvel used to have such a clear guardrail and plan as to where they're going. I have no idea anymore. I have no excitement. Fantastic Four, I did think looks kind of cool. It looks like a new starting point, but this leveling up to Thunderbolts and then Doomsday is like where we're heading. I feel like we are not prepared. Before we get to the Avengers movie with Doomsday, we needed a Captain America rallies up some of the players to remind us, get us more excited, and that's not what this is. Now, maybe there's another untitled Marvel movie in the plan that's going to get us there before then, but I don't think so. And this as the bridge to it, I think this is going to be a big letdown for Marvel fans and for general audiences. And I think Disney knew it. You'll know it because Bob Iger shelved this to this year, along with a lot of other movies like Snow White, and this was the year where he's like, he kept the good movies last year. He kept Deadpool Wolverine. He kept Inside Out 2. He kept Moana 2 and Mufasa. He's like, all right, those 4 will get us money. I'm going to bet all in on those. Let's dump all the turds the next year so they can at least cumulatively, maybe we'll make $1 billion. I genuinely think he knew he has some trouble this year. So he's trying to throw it all at the wall and keep his big hits so they wouldn't focus on the negatives. And they knew this was a turd. They know this was a turd that they're trying to polish as best they can. And again, Anthony Mackie, I'm not mad at him as a Captain America, but my God, can you just take the serum and use the shield and just get rid of the wings and let your Falcon sidekick be Falcon? What's the deal? I don't get it. If you're going to be Captain America, I want him with the shield, and I want him to really master shield stuff and quit doing the bing, 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 bing pinball nonsense. It's silly. That's my issue with this movie. Overall, very disappointed. It's not a Brave New World I'm excited for. It is a disappointing world. A lot of people are enjoying it, I guess. Great. I wish I had, but I think a lot of people are also drinking the Marvel Kool-Aid. And that's my thoughts. Keeping it honest always. And hit that subscribe, hit the bell for alerts if you want to keep updated on more reviews and news as it comes in here to Movie World Plus and my thoughts. Maybe we'll do a nerd war this week if I can pull it together. A lot of feelings on this one. It'd be fun to nerd it out. So stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stick around for the next one.